Okay, so this is question 4, and we see here 3 semicircles and we have to find the perimeter of them. So effectively what we can do here is solve for one of these particular shapes and then just multiply by 3. So to find the perimeter of one of these shapes, we would take the rule for perimeter, which is 2 pi r, okay, and we can apply that, okay. So that's for that part there, and then we would need to divide that by 2, so to halve it, because it's only half of a circle, okay. Now we can see from the diagram that the radius is this length from the middle point here to the edge, and that's 21 centimeters, and we know that from the diagram because it puts the 21 centimeters between this midpoint and this edge. If it had to put the 21, like say there, right across, it would indicate diameter, but we know from this it's indicating radius. So we can then substitute that in for the radius. We then want to add on to this the distance of that diameter, which in this case would be 2 lots of 21, 2 times 21, okay? And then all of this you want to multiply by 3 because that will give us 1, 2, 3 perimeters all together. Okay, so then we can pop this into our calculator, times by r, which is 21, all over 2, and we're going to add on here is 42, times by 3. Okay, and so we would type all that into our calculator in one go, and then that will give us our answer. Okay, so it'll give us 323.92, and the question asks us to round it off to the nearest whole number. So 323.92 would get rounded off to 324, and the measurement is in centimeters. 324 centimeters for those particular shapes. Okay, our next question looks at this particular diagram, which is a really classic diagram. Often we get this one to do with a running track or a race track or something like that, something where something is traveling around this distance. And really what it gives us is 2 things. It gives us bends at the end of, say, a racetrack, and it gives us straightaways, okay? And so what we're finding here really is this bend and that bend gives you a complete circle, and then you've got these 2 straights on either side that you need to add on to that. So you're really finding for this circle here, 2 pi r, okay? That gives us that one there and that one there. And then we're going to add on that 40 mils there and that 40 mils here, okay? So to do it on our calculator, it'd be 2 pi r, so it'd be 2 multiplied by pi, multiplied by r, which in this case is 17 millimeters. And then we want to add on to that the 2 straights here, so it's 40 and 40, so that gives us 80. And that gives us 186.81, which we then round up to 187 millimeters. Okay, the next question says find the area of a circle with these radius, and then it gives you a number. It gives you 4 actual different radius. These questions are all the same as each other. So you take the formula for area, okay, which will be on your formula sheet, which is pi squared, and then you just substitute in the radius here, which is 3. So that becomes pi by 3 squared, press equals, and that gives you the answer, which you then round off to, in this case, it asks for 1 decimal place, okay? And the same would apply for all of these. They're all just the same rule, pi r squared for each one of them. Just apply the radius as given. If they happen to give you diameter, then you could just halve the diameter to get the radius and use that in there. Okay, so those ones are fairly straightforward. Okay, this question says that you're given a circle and you've got to find the radius. So what I did, I was just drawn a circle and shown what we've got to find here. It tells us the radius is 78.5. So what we do is we use the rule for radius, we use the rule for area of a circle, pi r squared, and that equals 78.5. Okay, so then from there, we can simplify this. So the first thing we can do here is we can divide that one by pi and divide that side by pi. So obviously dividing by pi here puts pi underneath here and you can cancel both of those. That leaves you with r squared equals 78.5 divided by pi. So you don't need to work that out just yet, okay? You just need to have that thinking. The next thing is we want to find we want to undo the r squared. So to do that, we want to find the square root of that. The square root of r squared, okay? So you can think of it about it this way. If you had 3 squared equals 9, then the square root of 9 equals 3. So it undoes that. So we want to then go r equals the square root of 78.5 all over pi. Now that we can put into our calculator. Okay, and we can have square root, and we have 78.5, and down below we have pi, and then we have equals, and that will equal 4.998, which is we're rounding off to the nearest centimetre would be 5 centimetres.